Hey class, let's talk extra credit. I have the possibility for you to earn 100 points extra credit, which would significantly change your grade, probably a whole letter grade, uh, if you choose to do it. And the directions for this are in the course guide at the very end of your course guide, but I wanted to put it in a video as well just to make sure it's clear, the expectation is clear, because I don't want you to do it and it be all wrong and it be for naught. I also want to put this up in the beginning because it requires ongoing work throughout these 6 weeks. And if you end up putting it off or you don't understand the directions until the very end, it's not going to get done. So option number 1, you could read one of the books that are in the representative bibliography at the end of the course guide. That course guide has been put up revised. If you downloaded the first course guide, the first 2 days or so of class, then it did not have the representative bibliography. But if you downloaded or go to see it right now, it's in there. There's a dozen books or so that are listed on there. You read one of those. Some of them include, like this seminal text by Blomberg, Jesus and the Gospels. Some of them are longer and bigger than others, but you need to read enough of it that you can do a précis. And I'll talk about what that means here in a minute. Another option could be this one by Molina, The New Testament World. This one is very anthropological. Cover a lot of the things that were in Strauss's book at the very beginning about what life was like in Jesus's world and that Greco-Roman culture and Jewish culture, their family systems, the government, what they wore, what they ate, anthropological type stuff. It's good information to know that helps you understand the Gospels. There's 2 or 3 in there by Scott McKnight. Excellent Pauline New Testament scholar. Kingdom Conspiracy. I put this in there because of the kingdom of God being such a prominent theme in Mark's gospel. And Scott really lays out what it means when the church today, what it should mean, rather. He kind of takes the church to task. What it should mean when the church talks about the kingdom of God, doing kingdom work, Kingdom Conspiracy, his subtitle, Returning to the Radical Mission of the Local Church. So if you're in church ministry, that's an excellent text. I know another one I have on there from Scott McKnight is his commentary on the Sermon on the Mount, which of course is in Matthew, those chapters there, 5, 6, 7, that area of Matthew. This is a classic, excellent book to have on your bookshelf about the Sermon on the Mount, Scott McKnight's commentary on that. It does not read too technical. It's very approachable. You can definitely handle it. There's a couple by N.T. Wright as well. This is the same author who wrote the original Jesus that you have to read. That's your other textbook for the course. But this one is The Challenge of Jesus, Rediscovering Who Jesus Was and Is. It's also very readable. It's not that big. Some of Tom Wright's works are very technical and scholarly, and some of them are more everyday. In fact, he has a series called The Everyday. I think that's what it's called, like Romans for Everyone, Revelation for Everyone, something like that. Anyway, this one's approachable. You can read it. It's a great book. Another one I like, there's several others I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to spend time doing all that, but Gladding's book, and this is a novel. It reads like a novel, but it's the story of the Bible, the story of God, the story of us. And it goes beginning to end, Genesis all the way through the Bible as a novel. And this has proven to be very helpful for people witnessing or sharing the gospel with nuns and duns, people who don't go to church really anymore. Gladding is a part of new monasticism, the new monastic movement. You might be interested in that, intentional community, and he and his wife use this work in that world. So I did not give you any books that are a waste of time, a waste of your money. You could probably find some of them on that list in the York Library or in your county library. Definitely the UNL library if they do like a shipment, if you could borrow online. But even if you order them on Amazon, there are no books in there that you're not going to get value of having in your library long term for your life as a Christian and in ministry. Okay? From those, you read the book and you will write a 3 to 5 page précis. Precis. You can Google that to find directions on one, a template for how to write a precis. It's kind of like a book report, but for college. It's what college students call the book report. We've outgrown the book report. So the precis is the next step up from that. And it will include specific details about the text, what you appreciated about the text, what you didn't agree with, or what challenged you about the text, and also how it relates to the other books that we've read, how it relates to the Gospels, which you know to be true. So it's more of a scholarly engagement with the book. 3 to 5 pages. Yes, double space it, but mind the margins and all the other rules and restrictions that are there in your course guide. Option number two, also 100 points extra credit, is to compose a prayer anthology. As you are reading, don't go back and try to do this after the fact. It's going to be a lot more work for you, and it won't be as genuine, I don't think, either. As you're reading the Synoptic Gospels, if you come across a verse, or you come across a narrative, you come across a parable that affects you, that causes you to say, I think I want to talk to God about that one. Maybe it evokes praise in you. Maybe it evokes questions in you want to talk to God about. Maybe it evokes a lament in you that you want to confess or pour before the Lord in you. It doesn't have to be all praise prayers. It could be prayer of petition, prayer of thanksgiving, prayer of lament, prayer of confusion. God, I don't even know what to do with this. But at least 20 prayers that have emerged from your reading of the Synoptic Gospels. And I have an example of one at the end of the course guide from Luke chapter 4. They need to be grammatically correct. They need to be well written. They need to be genuine and authentic. Have this be real, like real prayers, not just something you're doing for an assignment. From your heart prayers, 20 of them. They don't have to be excessively long, but not unnecessarily short either, or vice versa. The example one that I have there from Luke chapter 4 is when Jesus commences his ministry in Luke's gospel. He goes into the synagogue and he declares himself as the jubilant redeemer, pulling from the year of Jubilee in Leviticus 25. And he pulls that scroll of Isaiah off the shelf and reads it as himself being this one who came to set the captives free in the day of the Lord. And that can evoke feelings of praise and thanksgiving and humility within you as a disciple. And the example prayer I wrote was, God, our Redeemer. The church praises you for setting us free. We thank you for sending Jesus as our jubilant Redeemer and for recording his acts of redemption so that our faith may be increased by their witness. Lord, bless us with eyes to see the breadth of your goodness in all people and in all creation. Open our hands to release the captives in your name. Fill our legs with your spirit to cure us of the disease of laziness, trespassing against your boundaries, or legs long since lame from apathy. Give us hearts of compassion to partner with God in Jesus' ministry of redemption in this dark and broken world. In the freedom of your glorious light, Lord, we delight in your endless jubilee. Because of your Son, amen. So that would be an example of a sufficient prayer. If you have 20 of those, make sure you list for me when you turn in that anthology the book, chapter, and verse, so I know what spawned it. And there'll be a space in the Moodle in the inline classroom to turn these in at the end by August 10th at the end to turn that in for 100 points. That prayer anthology, you could use that forever in ministry. You could do a whole Bible study on prayers that emerge from the Synoptic Gospels. You could use it as something to talk to friends and family about. You could use it as something to refer to in your own spiritual life with God as time goes on. So these are not meant to be waste of time assignments for you. They are good for your information and your formation, and it could significantly help your grade, 100 points. Again, it's written in the course guide. You have this video, but if you still have questions, don't hesitate to ask, and we will figure it out. All right, have a wonderful day. Talk to you all soon.